YouTube, it's Angela. Good to be back. I was out for a few weeks and here we are. We're going to create some more energy to move us forward, to develop our lives personally, spiritually, and in practical ways as well. So let's get started. The first, I pulled 4 oracles and I pulled 2 each of the tarot cards to go with those oracles to clarify them a little bit. And the first card that I pulled, it comes from this deck, the Dreamweaver's Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And the card I got for us to start this reading is called All the Shoes Fell from the Sky. Look at that. This is that energy of sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Like if something good comes along, we want to kind of hold it in place because we don't want to add to it or detract from it or anything, because what if something bad happens, right? It's kind of that sort of triggered fear that we get. And what that creates is our new ideas, our new intentions, our new actions that we want to develop end up being dormant because we're inactive. We're not taking moves toward it. We're waiting basically for perfection before we make a move, or don't want to what do they call it? I don't want to rock the boat, so let's just keep everything as is because the good things here and the good ideas here. But what if I take action on this idea and it turns out bad and then I'm a failure? Like, it's basically not even allowing yourself to start for fear of failure or success, either one. What if success is too much? What if I get what I want and then I don't really know how to handle it, whatever? So that waiting for perfection is a means of control, right? It's a way that we get to, when we're in suspension like that, we can't succeed or fail. It's just, clinging to that idea of, keep it all the same. Let's keep it all the same. Let's not move and change and shift, when we know that's not how life works, right? It's continuously shifting and moving, and we're always brought, new ideas and new ways of thinking and doing are always coming through. And if we cling to one space, then we're trying to control it, but actually what we're doing is we're losing that juice, that verve, that the richness in our lives. We're not really going after it. So that's interesting, because this for me happens to make a lot of sense for me with certain tangible goals in my life. But also we could apply this to a relationship with another, right? Our relationship with our career or with money, or our own self-development. Like, I don't want to start speaking up for myself, because what if that creates, worse, circumstances in my relationships. But the evolving and the changing and the movement has to happen. It has to happen. So that's interesting when we feel we're in, when we're stagnated or we're not making a move toward or away from anything. Interesting. And the Zen cards I pulled with that, obviously I pulled control. It's like, how could this not come up? This is a mental energy card. And like we said, that inactivity and that sort of suspension in time and waiting for the perfect moment is a means of control. So those are control issues that we have, that they get disguised as, oh no, I'm going to wait and, till the circumstances are right, but it's really controlling. And then the other Zen card I pulled to go with that is the Miser. So this is that, that old crone, that old woman who is keeping all of her good stuff, just like this waiting for the other shoe to drop vibe. It's the same thing, keeping all her good stuff to herself. I don't want to share it. I don't want to let anyone know I have it. I don't want to let anyone know the depth and the richness of me, because for fear of rejection, I'm going to keep it all here. I'm going to keep it to myself, right? until she gets to the point where there's a wall being built around her to contain all of her riches. Remember, these are energetic riches within us, until that wall is like at her heart level. So now her heart's about to get closed off too, right? From that connection that we all want. So if we're in a space of inactivity, or, not wanting to take that next step forward for fear of failure or success, right? Because we get into both of those vibes pretty often. I think that the guidance is to recognize that that's a form of control, and then to go ahead and open up, maybe just one thing at a time. If this is like something that maybe you're in a relationship or a friendship and your true feelings have never really been out, or about some off topic, something unrelated to the relationship, but you haven't really shared your full self. Or if this is, like I said, for me, this is probably tangible projects and things in my life that I feel frozen on because I don't know which step to take first, and I'm afraid if I take one, right? I go through this quite a lot with projects and stuff. So interesting start to this reading. Now let's proceed and see where we're led once we are able to recognize those control mechanisms by the immobility, the inactivity, and then find a way to open up and share the richness of who we are, and or infuse it into those projects or into those relationships, and let that be part of the formula from here on. The card that I got, the oracle card I got after that set, is the frog spirit, renewal. This is the frog represents, renewal, resurrection, transformation, egg, tadpole, fully grown amphibian, similar to the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? Or the bud to the flower, right? In that bud, the entire flower is there, right? Just waiting to be fully developed and opened up. The key to this spirit of renewal is also adaptability, right? So, the frog in the egg form, it doesn't know it's on its way to becoming a frog, just as our spirit, doesn't know the possibility of where we could end up and what we could be if we stop waiting for the shoe to drop, right? The shoe would fall from the sky. But we commit to taking, one step at a time. We commit to, or we allow for, the elements and the energies that come through to allow our growth and to allow for our renewal. We allow those energies to be there to take us into, onto another level. So after waiting around for perfection, we drop the shield and we allow ourselves to step fully into whatever this next phase is that we want to do. And we achieve a sense of renewal because we were willing to adapt to whatever's going on. And then the Zen cards I pulled from that are, I pulled suppression. So this is all that stuff that was created from waiting for the perfect time, for the perfect moment, for the perfect words to say. We're holding back in that way. The suppression card is like the miser, but it goes a little deeper, right? It ends up internally piling our energy, on top of till we are so clogged up within, in our spirit, that the next thing that could happen is an explosion, right? Because it's so clogged up. But what we have is the gift of sort of aspiration and spiritual growth, and that's what we're here for, right? Grounded Dreamers. So we can shift that. We can shift that old suppressed energy as we're working toward renewing and seeing things from another level. I got the innocence card. And this is exactly that. This is seeing things with fresh eyes, finding a new perspective. This old sage has lived all, all that he could and knows all that he could and is very wise and a guide in other people's lives. And yet he can still find joy and wonder while just engaging with this tiny grasshopper as if he's never seen one before, right? That's the shift. It's the beginner mind kind of a vibration, as the Buddhists will guide us. Always be willing to be a beginner and to learn and to start new. Always be willing for that. And that's what gives you the momentum to break out of that sort of waiting pattern. And then the next card that I pulled is opportunity. So this is like, if you see her, there's a portal here, of chaos, basically. But she sees there's chaos all around her, and she sees the portal, the opening of opportunity, of a chance. Oh, this is my chance. I'm working on taking a step toward a higher level in my relationship. And when the opportunity comes up to discuss it or to work on it, or you find a means of strengthening your connection in whatever way, you go on a hike together, or you take a course together, or whatever that is. Or like in my case, the opportunity comes about in a less directive way, but elements of projects that I want to work on, new ideas come through, and it helps me with my momentum forward. So the key here is to embrace the shift, embrace that portal that opens up of opportunity, and don't let fear close off that moment, which is what the shoe drop thing, what's where we started, right? So now we're moving, down the line a little and reminding ourselves, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to expecting the worst, or, that more controlling kind of energy. So move with the energy that's there. And if opportunities come up, go toward them one at a time and check it out, and create more movement, right, in your life, so that you're not sitting around waiting for the shoes to fall from the sky. And then with the opportunity card, I pulled ripeness. This is the same vibration as that portal of opportunity opening. It's knowing when the time is right, recognizing it when that opportunity comes, to go toward it and to naturally move toward it, not in a forced way, right? The fruit falls naturally from the tree when it's ready, when it's ripe. And this is the rhythm that we want to engage in our own lives, right? Not staying stuck, but then also not forging ahead without being present with the energies that are here, and the potential elements of momentum that can help you move forward. And then I pulled also with that trust. So, that's one that, trusting in the way the universe lays this stuff out, and the way that you are presented with these shifts to move with, these moments of renewal. It's just really finding a way to know that it's coming. Know that, oh, my next opportunity is on its way. My next choice to make is coming, and I know I will make the right one, because it's all comes from the inner being. That the inner being, once you're cleaned up within, right, and practicing presence, and practicing, being in this moment, and then being able to clearly see when an opportunity comes your way, then you move toward it in a natural flow. I love that, because that kind of, the stuck energy here, and then the renewal energy kind of makes us feel like, especially with that suppression card coming under it, it kind of makes it feel like, oh, I have to burst forward because I've had enough of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And now I got to burst forward with all this, renewed energy. Not always. It's also a matter of timing, and when it feels right, and when it seems right, and when you're willing to give it a shot to move forward. And then the final card I pulled is from sort of a meditative deck called the Orange Blossom. And the orange blossom in some cultures, I think like ancient Eastern cultures, is a symbol of fertility, right? And, the flower represents the promise of creation, of something new, of something coming through. And once it becomes fruit, it represents the completion of that promise, of that cycle. So this is just indicating that positive shifts in a new direction creates positive outcomes. And that's what this whole reading has been talking about, right? From this point of, I'm going to wait for that perfect moment, waiting for the perfection to show itself before I make a move. And we've worked our way through, we've eased that a little bit and recognize that as a control mechanism. And so that eases the path a little bit. And we end up here with those intentions that we set will blossom. And they will come sooner if we're in that natural flow, right? In that flow of knowing when the opportunities arise and to step toward them and make these positive shifts toward your fruit, showing the completion of that intention. And then the Zen cards I got with that, and these kind of cap off the whole reading. I pulled awareness, and this is that note of changing up the way you approach it by, first of all, recognizing that control. Changing up the way you approach it creates the clarity you seek, right? Instead of waiting for it here, hovered down, the shoes are all going to fall on me. It's more of, no, I'm going to release that need to seek the perfection, and I'm going to move through this in my fallible, human, natural way and find, the flow and find the rhythm. You start to get more clarity then as to where you want to head next, how you really want to execute this thing that you're trying to create. And that's a good energy. This is also a major arcana in the deck. So it's a pivotal moment. It's a pivotal energy, of creating that clarity just by kind of relaxing, opening up a little and moving with the energy that's there for you. And then the final card, another major arcana, is the Master. And this is you, this is me, this is us, this is all of us here on Grounded Dreamers. And we are mastering the way we move through life, the way we approach conflict, the way we approach problems. Instead of focusing hard on the fact that it's a problem, we shift and use our higher self to help us shift to go toward a solution, right? Instead of dwelling on there's a problem, right? Waiting for the shoe to drop. So I love this path. I love how there's clear guidance here, and yet there's nothing here, and I really rarely ever talk about timing. So this is really just a general sort of map or template for us to follow when we're feeling that stuck energy, when we're feeling like, I really want to go and be there, but I'm so worried and afraid that it's not going to go perfectly. And then so we do nothing, right? And we end up suspended in time. So in general, this is a path to move ourselves away from that energy. Okay, I hope that has helped a little. If it did, engage with this channel as much as you can, but also, check out groundeddreamers.com if you want to join the email list there. There's stuff that's going to be being developed there. And right now there's a blog there to read a lot of my little thoughts and musings if you'd like. And that's about it for now. So I will see you guys soon. Love you.